Hello beautiful people of the internet, my name is Jaden and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I post a lot of lifestyle content as well as self-help content or educational content, so if you're into any of that, definitely be sure to subscribe. But today, you guys, I am feeling like a very traditional lifestyle YouTuber. This is like my dream. I am like going into the era of being a YouTuber that I've always wanted to be in because I'm actually making a gift guide this year. Now, before we go into this, I'm gonna say I do kind of follow like the trends of things that people want, and of course like I get TikTok shop ads, like stuff like that, but I'm not gonna say that I know like all the quote-unquote trendy things, but I do think I have a lot of things on here that are pretty like universal that could cover like a lot of different types of people. So I feel like I came up with a pretty good list. We're gonna start with low budget items and go all the way into extremely high budget items. Don't think anything on here is over $1,000, which it never should be, but there are a couple things on here that are worth a few $100s, maybe a bit more than a few, but it's only a few things. Most of them are in the low to mid budget tier. No matter what, whether you have a low budget or a high budget, there's something for everyone, as I said. So let's just get into it. Starting with low budget items, also like this is all subjective. I want to make that clear. Like I think all of these things should be around like $50 or less. Some of them are obviously less than others, but that's kind of where I was going with this. But some might like flow between categories depending on what type of thing you're getting or like what brand. But for the most part, these things can be cheaper if you make them cheaper. So first we have a 2025 calendar. This is easy to personalize. Basically just get a calendar for any specific topic, theme that they might like. Animal lovers get animals, sports lovers get sports, art lovers get art. Like I have a Vincent Van Gogh one. You can do anything with this. Similar category, we have a 2025 planner. You can either get a digital one or a physical one, and same thing, kind of tailor it to the person you're giving it to. A Christmas ornament. I know people love to get this, especially for like stocking stuffers. This is always a good one. Once again, you can easily personalize this. You can actually get these custom made if you do know the person really well and know what they would like. Also, if you just have the time to like make one yourself. But there are ways you can get one of like the person's pet, or maybe like if you're a couple, you can get one of like your faces together, or like a little couple's pose. Like you can do pretty much anything with an ornament. Rechargeable hand warmers, or just hand warmers in general. If you do live in a really cold area, everyone loves hand warmers. Everyone uses them. It's always good to have. Slippers. I don't know anyone who doesn't love a good pair of slippers, and if they don't, they're weird. Again, when it's colder, those always come in handy. You always want a good pair of slippers. Candles. This is always easy to make themed as well. Like if you get a good holiday themed candle, or like a specific season themed candle, like if you want to do a specific Christmas one, do like pine needles, peppermint, candy cane, shit like that. But candles are one of the easiest gifts to get to anyone. Essential oils, this might not be for everyone, but I do love a good essential oil. They have specific ones for like stress, for pains, for like pheromones. So whatever the occasion, there's probably one that you can get for it. Cookbooks. Might not be for everyone again, but if you do know a person who cooks a lot, I feel like a lot of people do like this. And specifically if you know someone who is a video game lover, I'd recommend the Stardew Valley cookbook. There's also some other ones, they're unofficial, but they have like Zelda ones, Animal Crossing ones, Minecraft ones. Like there's a bunch of, again, themed cookbooks for specific occasions. They also have a Snoop Dogg one, which I've been seeing coming up a lot. I don't know why. And then of course they have like real ones by actual chefs. So a lot of options out there for cookbooks. Lego sets. So of course there's a lot of options for children and also a lot of options for adults, but adults tend to like specific ones. Again, video game lovers will like a lot of the video game ones, and then you have some like TV show based ones depending on what shows they like. Also, if you're in a relationship, a lot of people like to do the bouquets for their significant others. Earmuffs. Again, if you live in the cold, who wouldn't want these? I have a really cute fluffy white pair and I love them. I don't wear them a lot, but I like just having them on hand. Scratch off posters are books. I actually have one in the background right here that I love, and I just get a ton of these all the time. Again, You can personalize these so much. This one is for national parks. They also have those maps where you can scratch off all the states you've been to. Some for date ideas, movies, books, TV shows, video games, different types of drinks. There's quite literally something for everyone out there when it comes to the scratch offs. I'm sure you guys can find something. Next we have a heating pad, heating jacket, heating blanket. There's a bunch of heated things. I also talked about the rechargeable hand warmers. Look, it is starting to get cold out here, and my favorite thing to do is to get bundled up with something that is already warm. So that's been kind of heavy on my mind right now. Funko Pops. Okay, again with the you can get something for everyone, but you really can't. There are Funko Pop characters for TV shows, movies, celebrities, even like actors, singers, video game characters, athletes, pretty much whoever you want. If you can find a Funko Pop that at least matches one of the person you're getting it for's interests, I'd be really surprised. Bathrobe, simple, easy, just like slippers. It's just, who wouldn't want a good bathrobe? Kind of same category. Towels, washcloths, or like those little throw towels that you put on your stove. Easy thing that no one's really gonna complain about, at least if they're an adult. Fuzzy throw blankets, oh my god. I have this one right here. It's my favorite thing in the world. I love just bundling up on the couch with one of these. Next we have those face washing like headbands and bracelets. Essentially when you do your skincare, you don't want the water like dripping down your arm or getting into your hair. You put on the headband, you put on the little, I don't even know what to call them, I guess armbands. That way you can do your skincare mess free. Next we have those classic like best mom ever, best boyfriend ever t-shirts or pants, whatever. I also very much like the ones that are like my girlfriend will kill you or like stay away, I have a girlfriend, like all of those for couples. I think those are hilarious. Or there's like this really trashy one that I saw on TikTok. It's like booty shorts and then the ass says like property of whatever your boyfriend's name is. Definitely not for everyone, but for me, I think they're fucking hilarious and I would very much recommend them. Next, this one's very like niche specific, actually might not be super cheap, but Abercrombie has these really nice NFL shirts. I got really invested in this looking at some gift guides on TikTok because a lot of people want to get sports stuff for their boyfriends, but they hate a lot of like the actual NFL merch. If you go on places like Abercrombie or also like Etsy, they have a lot of like really cute sports stuff and specifically a lot of NFL stuff. Like that's what I've been looking at a lot lately. Also obviously doesn't have to just be for a boyfriend, but I know that a lot of girls are like, I don't want my boyfriend wearing this trashy shit, so that they want to get, you know, the cuter shirts for them. I'm more invested in it for myself now, but I get the struggle. I do. Next, of course, we just have t-shirts in general. Who could go wrong with a t-shirt? You can do whatever you want with a t-shirt, whatever type you want to get, whatever color, whatever fit. Make it your own, or I guess make it the person you're getting it for's own. Next, socks, leg warmers, classic. Well, technically I guess leg warmers aren't, but socks are classic. Can never go wrong with it. And lastly, one of the easiest purchases ever, a gift card for anything that I'm talking about. They like video games, get them a Steam card, an Xbox card. Is there a PlayStation card? I don't know. Whatever console that they play, it's really easy to figure out what kind of gift card you need to buy for that console. Or if they play like a specific game, you can get them money in that game usually. If they like the outdoors, there's stores like REI or like Bass Pro. If they read a lot, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble. If they like makeup, maybe Sephora or Ulta. You have so many options. And if you know the basics about a person, you'll probably know where they shop at. Next, we're going into low to medium budget. We're getting like a little bit pricier. Most of these things are probably gonna fall a little bit over 50, but probably not more than 100. If they do, it's just maybe like a little bit more, but also some of these things could be in the cheaper end too. But I don't really know. I didn't look at prices for all of these things. So first we have conversational or icebreaker card games. These are one of my favorite things ever. I love doing these with people. The first, I think most notorious one is We're Not Really Strangers. They have different versions depending on who you're doing them with. So you can get, I think, like a family version, there's a couples version, I think there's a friends version, might even be like a co-workers version. There's like different decks depending on who you're doing them with. There's also Where Should We Begin by Esther Perel. This is one of my favorites. I actually have this one. It's super good. I've also seen Let's Get Deep. A new one I saw was Best Self. But if you look up conversational card games, these should all come up. I always find these best to do in a relationship. It really helps you get to know the person you're with, but it's also great for friends and even great for family members. Just if you're having trouble like getting close to people, it's an easy way to get people to talk. Next, the Bobby Goods coloring books. I don't don't know if this has been like all over everyone's social media, but it's been all over mine. I've been really wanting them. Like a good little coloring book would really hit right now. They have a ton. They have themed ones as well. Like they have specific Christmas ones, so that might be good for the season. And if you're willing to put in a little bit more money, you can also get coloring supplies for the person you're getting them for. Next, loungewear sets. Oh my god. You can never go wrong with a good set, at least for a girl. The little matching pajamas. It's everything. That's it. That's all I have to say. It's everything. A charging stand, like you know those things where you can charge your phone, your watch, your iPad, your laptop all at the same fucking time on this one little stand. People who are really into tech usually are into those. Of course, we have to say tumblers, most notoriously Stanleys, Yetis, but there are so many different ones. A lot of people give this as an easy gift, and I don't think anyone's like really complaining about these either. Sweatpants. I know this can be cheaper, but honestly, if you're getting a really good pair of sweatpants, they might be a little bit more pricey, and I would recommend a pair of really good sweatpants. They are life-changing. And then next we have just board games, card games. There's a lot of different types. These can be more expensive depending on what kind of game it is. If it's more extensive, they're a little bit pricier, but honestly, this should be much cheaper. I don't know why I categorized some things the way that I did, okay? I wrote this list really quickly. Now we're going into medium budget. These should actually be going more into like $50 to $100 range, maybe a bit more. But first we have instant cameras or digital cameras. Yeah, that one's probably gonna be a little bit pricier if you're getting digital at least. But I know a lot of people have been into this over the last year or so. I have a couple of them. Obviously, the classic Polaroid camera, that's a big one for everyone. Also the Kodak FunSaver. This isn't an instant camera, but it's a disposable camera. So you take all the pictures and then you go and get them developed at like a Walgreens or a CVS. That has been really fun over the last few years. I've been really loving that one. And the cameras are cheap. But if you want to go for an actual digital camera, a lot of people talk about the Canon PowerShot. That's just like my range of literal instant camera, disposable film camera, and then digital camera. You can look into options for all of them, but these are the ones that I've kind of had experience with, so I like these and would recommend them. Kind of in the same topic, an instant photo printer. This can just be something that you get that Bluetooths to your phone so that you can print out the pictures that you took on your phone into actual physical prints instantly, of course. I never had one of these. I don't know if I can actually recommend anything accurately, but I've always wanted one. They look so cool. Next, customized Legos. I know we talked about Legos already, but you can actually get some that are customized, and I didn't really look into this, but if you look up customized Legos, you can find them. I just don't know how much they cost. They might be a lot cheaper than what I originally thought. Next, Jellycats. One of my like #1 things that I'm always thinking about, and I know a lot of people are into them too. They are definitely a little bit pricier, especially if you get the really big ones, but they're just really high quality stuffed animals, and they have so many different types, so many like weird niche types. They do have sports ones. You can get like a football, a baseball, a basketball. They also have holiday themed ones, so you can get like a candy cane, a Christmas tree, and then for Halloween you can get pumpkins. For Easter you can get bunnies. There's a ton of options. If you love your girlfriend, get your girlfriend a Jellycat. That is probably one of my #1 recommendations on here. Next we have a smart notebook. Kind of niche again, but essentially these are just the notebooks that it's like a tablet, but it's also like a notebook. I don't know. My coworkers are really into this. I never really got the hype, but if you think it's something someone you know might be into, then just look into it. Next we have an air purifier, or a dehumidifier, a humidifier, whatever fucks with the air around you, depending on what kind of climate you're in. I feel like these things can really be a life changer for just your breathing and your health. Next, 2 things for your girlies who are living out of bags. Toiletry bag and a duffel bag. Next, we have a digital picture frame. My boyfriend got me this for my birthday, and what he actually did was open it and then put in some pictures before he even gave it to me. That was really, really cute. I'd recommend that. Next, a towel warmer. This is kind of bougie, but it really upgrades your life a lot if you get a towel warmer that you put your towel in before you take your bath or your shower, and then you come out and your towel is already warm for you. Best feeling in the world, honestly. Next we have a pickleball set. So many people have been in the pickleball lately. I don't know, I haven't played it, but I know a lot of people want to get into it, so why not? Sunset lamps. Oh my god, these are so good, especially for all these people who are getting tired of the sun setting at like 5 o'clock. It makes a difference to have sunset, sunrise lamps, whatever. These things that add better lighting into your house or apartment when it's really dark outside and it's too early in the day for it to be dark outside. And then lastly, we have a weighted blanket. Weighted blankets are life-changing. I have one and it's one of my favorite things in the world. It feels like a warm hug when you don't have anyone to give you a warm hug. So top tier recommendation. Okay, next we have medium to high budget items. These are definitely gonna be getting pricier, but probably affordable if you're getting it for someone who you're really close to and you're wanting to spend a bit more money on them. First, workout sets. I think this could be pricier just because you're getting more items. If you're getting like a full set, individual items might not be so much, but full sets, yes. Also, if you're going to higher quality places like Gymshark and Lululemon, those are definitely gonna be a little bit pricier. Next, crossbody bags. Specifically, I did see this one off of Lululemon and it kept coming up in all the gift guides I was looking at, so I was like, why not? A pair of Uggs. Apparently everyone's been talking about this too. I don't really get the Ugg hype. I didn't get the Croc hype either, but yeah, everyone wants a pair of mini Uggs right now, or at least all the girly pops do. So if you know a girly pop, get her a pair of Uggs. She'll be forever grateful for you. Next is a red light therapy mask. If you know someone who's into wellness, they're probably all about using red light. And I've seen a lot of people put on those masks that are supposed to help. I don't know what it does. I haven't used them, but I know a lot of people are into them. Next, we have a good pots and pans set. These can definitely get a little bit more expensive if you're getting really good sets with lots of different things included. And for any adult, this should not be something they complain about, especially if it's someone who's like just moving in or who maybe has been living somewhere for a while but like hasn't really fully upgraded their whole entire living space. This is usually something that's a luxury for a young adult, so it's always good. Kind of in the same category, we have the knife sets. A lot of people don't want to spend the money on a really good set of knives. That almost always comes as a gift. So if you know someone doesn't have one already, then go ahead and get one. Next is a massage gun or a Theragun. My boyfriend lended me his while I've been working out like crazy, and I don't know why I didn't have one of these sooner. It's life-changing. Yeah, it's life-changing. That's all I can say. For athletes, this is something that's gonna really make a world of a difference. And next, this definitely could be a bit more money, but we're gonna talk about personalized jewelry. This is always good for significant others. If you either want to get their name or your name, both work. And also initials. Again, either your partner's initials or your initials. They would love that. Also, lockets are really cute. The ones that have like a picture inside of them. Also, one of the things that I do like is those bracelets that you like can't remove unless you get them like welded off, if you get that together with someone. Also, those rings that you can only get like one person. I think it's called a dairy ring, if I'm not mistaken. I'll put it on the screen, but it's kind of wild. I think you have to give them like your social security number so that they know that you've already bought one when you bought one, and once you buy the one you can't ever get another one again. So you're essentially saying this is your present for life, you're just not marrying them yet, which those are fucking crazy. I've seen some people get those for people they've only known for a few months, and that's a little bit weird, I'm gonna be honest, but to each their own. And I know a lot of people again have been talking about that. Next, we're gonna go into really high budget items. Some of these are insane, don't get me wrong. I know that a lot of these are like very, very out of reach for people, but I don't know if the random millionaire stumbles over this video, you have some ideas as well. So first, we have an Oura ring. Everyone's all about the Oura rings. There's also the ultra human rings that I've heard about. There's multiple different kinds of smart rings, but Oura ring is something that a lot of people have been talking about. And when I made this wish list, this was the #1 thing that I wrote because it's been the #1 thing on my wish list, even though it's super expensive and I don't expect anyone to get it for me. I want to get it for myself, so it was just heavy on my mind. Of course, if you're gonna get this for someone, make sure that you know their size and you know their finish. Do not get a gold ring for someone who only wears silver, and vice versa. It's a very specific and also very expensive gift, so you don't want to like fuck that up. Next, we have a vlog camera. There are some really expensive vlog cameras like the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. I've been seeing a lot of people starting to use, and it is outrageously expensive, at least in my opinion. But again, you can get like a Canon PowerShot or a Sony ZV-1. If you know someone who does like to either take pictures or vlog, do anything of the sort, you just have to kind of do your research when it comes to cameras. People can be very picky about these things. Ideally, if you know this person really well, they will have been talking about the kind of things that they want and the specifics of the cameras that they want. But those are just some general recommendations of things that I've seen from YouTubers or just like tech websites. Next, we have the Hatch alarm clock. I got one back in May, I believe, and I've loved mine. I don't use it all the time, but I think it's really a good thing to have. Again, pretty expensive, but completely worth it. Next, a couple pairs of headphones. We do have the Apple AirPods Max. I've been wanting one of these since they came out and I've just never been able to justify getting them myself, but really, really good headphones. We also have Beats. There's a bunch of different kinds of Beats. Some are cheaper than others, but they're great headphones, especially for people who like go to the gym a lot. They're good quality and their battery lasts a really long time. Next, we have the Dyson Airwrap. I know that's kind of like falling out of trend, but I think a lot of people still want this. Just we've kind of moved past the trend, but so expensive. A lot of people aren't going to be willing to buy it for themselves, but they would love it as a gift. Next, we have JBL speakers. This is a little bit cheaper. We're slowly going down from insanely expensive to a little bit cheaper as the list goes on, but JBL speakers are like really good quality speakers. I've had one for the longest time and it's waterproof too. You can literally like throw it in a pool and it works. Pretty much the only speaker I think I've ever had besides like my Alexas, but they're so good. Next, we have a projector. I've seen so many people talking about this too. Just there's a bunch of different types. I don't have a specific one, but if you look up projectors, there's a bunch that you can connect to like your laptop or like your Switch or your Xbox, any gaming systems and any type of computer. And essentially what you do is instead of getting a TV or a monitor, you project whatever you're watching or playing onto your wall, and it's super cool. A lot of people do big movie nights with this. Next, of course, as I just talked about, we have the Amazon Echo Dots or the Alexas. They've been out for a long time, but a lot of people who I know have one. So if you know someone who doesn't have one, I feel like they would be very happy to have one. Next, we have an air fryer. Classic. Everyone wants an air fryer. Next, we have air tags. This is always something too that like I've never gotten, and I've just like I would never be mad if I had one. I just don't really feel like inclined to go out and get one. But if I got it as a gift, I'd be like, oh, that's cool. Next, we have a Roomba or any type of robot vacuum. So many things on here is just like a luxury that I feel like so many of us just don't feel like actually going and getting ourselves unless we have like everything else that we want. I've always wanted a robot vacuum. It's been like one of my biggest things that I think would make me happy, but also like it's not a reasonable purchase for someone like me right now, but hopefully no one would complain. Next, we have any kind of like subscription services, which is a little bit wild and I don't really know how you would get this set up for someone, but things like HelloFresh or like Stitch Fix or Ipsy, these are basically things that supply you for months on end. HelloFresh is for food, Stitch Fix is for clothes, and Ipsy is for makeup. And lastly, of course, we have to end on another winter themed item. Any kind of winter clothes, but specifically winter jackets. Always good to have if you live in a winter climate. Some good brands are North Face, Patagonia, Columbia, Carhartt, and that is all I got. As always, be mindful of what you're getting for whatever specific person you're getting it for. If they have a very specific aesthetic, like I definitely do, be careful with getting things like clothes and home decorations, shit like that. You want to make sure that you're getting something you know they're gonna like or something that they have specifically asked for. Otherwise, you might want to stick to just things that they can like use and not put on display, if that makes any sense. I just always like to be careful with that because like I get really uncomfortable when someone gives me a gift that I feel as though I have to use and I don't like it that much. But yeah, I trust you guys to make good decisions. Take all of my ideas with caution and understanding that each person is a little bit different, and even though I did have ideas for everyone, you still have to be mindful of what you're getting for what person. Also, this video is coming out right before Black Friday, so if you do want to make any of these gifts cheaper, definitely think about Black Friday deals. It's probably the best time to shop for Christmas presents. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like and a comment, and if you're feeling generous, you can even subscribe. I do hope to see you guys all in the next one, but if not, bye-bye!